Hi, I'm Dr. Adrienne Robertson. I'm a veterinarian here at Magnawave Veterinary Clinic, and we're going to talk about how to soak and pack a hoof today. So I'm going to go over the things that you're going to need to have ready to do this. First, you're going to need something to soak the foot in. I use an old large IV bag. They also sell red bags with a black bottom at Tractor Supply, or you could try to use a bucket. This is just my favorite. You're going to need some Epsom salt. You're going to need either 4 or 5 diapers or a nice thick cotton, and this is pretty special. You have to have the thick cotton. You're going to need to have a roll of vet wrap. You're going to need to have duct tape. Not all duct tape is created the same. You want actual brand duct tape or a very thick duct tape from your hardware store. And then you'll need some type of poultice. So my favorite, I use the animal Lintex, and I'll show you how we use that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to soak our foot for about 15 minutes, okay? So the amount of Epsom salt you put in isn't really critical, because if you put too much in, it's just not going to dissolve in the bag. So I will go ahead and put my Epsom salt in, and I'll show you how much I use. I use about this much, and hold on, I'll show you. Squish, squish, squish. Okay, so I use about this much, maybe a smidge less. I might be overzealous today. And then I'll go ahead and fill this up with water. I'm going to use about this much water. So some of the Epsom salt will dissolve, some of it won't, and I like to use warm water because it works the best. I will go ahead and I will already have my foot clean, and then I'm going to soak it. Most horses, surprisingly, don't mind this, and I just kind of set it down as we go. Be careful, you don't want to get stepped on. And then I literally duct tape this bag to their leg while I get the rest of my pack set up. So this is temporary. I'll use a courtesy tab. I set this on here for about 15 minutes. So now while my horse is soaking, I'm gonna set up the rest of my products. I'm going to take duct tape on the top of a bucket, and I'm gonna place it just like this in the shape of a star, so that you just go up and down and around just in the shape of a star. I want a nice circle. This is gonna be my final layer. I'm going to take my animal Lintex and I'm going to cut it to shape my foot. So it's pretty important how you cut this. I'm going to make a strip for my cornet band, which will look kind of long and skinny like this. And then I'm going to make a strip that covers the sole of my hoof and then my heel bulbs. And it's going to be about this big for this horse. Of course, depending on the size of the horse, whether it be a mini or a draft horse, you're going to change. There is a plastic side, and then there's a powder side. You want the plastic side away from your horse. So now I'll show you this again, but if this is my hoof, you want the plastic side away from your horse. This has medication in it, and I want the medication to go into my leg, okay, into my foot. So now that Herman's been soaking for about 15 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and put this boot on him. Star, and I like to go ahead and I set it on my leg because it's easier for me to have when I need it. So I literally drape it over my leg, so I've got it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take this boot off, and I've got my courtesy tab, so it's not going to be too hard. Okay, I'm going to lift my foot up, so I have a nice, clean, freshly soaked foot. I'm going to use the water from the bag that I just had, and I'm going to dip my poultice pad. And then Magica TV, that's gonna go away. Great. Then when I wrap my foot, this is pretty important. You want to take, of course, the plastic side away from your horse. This strip goes around my cornet band, okay? So I'm gonna put that around my cornet band. I'm going to take this strip, plastic away from the horse, and cover my heel bulbs, because those are the soft tissue structures that I want to protect. Then I'm gonna take my cotton. The cotton has to go on the cornet band, right here, okay? Right at the hairline of the horse. Good. Good, and I just wrap it around and then I pop it forward, just like that. Good. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap with my vet wrap now. Be careful, if they put their foot down, you don't wanna get stepped on. And you can wrap around the cornet band because my cotton is so thick, okay? Good. So I kind of do like a figure 8 type pattern where I hook around this heel bulb and do diagonal. Then I'll come and go diagonal across this one. And then at the end, I just kind of wrap it around. Good. Good. Now, I'm going to use my duct tape star. I'm going to slap it on the foot. There we go. Okay, I'm going to bring my foot forward when I lay it down so it'll place properly. Good. And then I'm going to tidy it up. So the only way you can mess this up is by not having enough padding on your cornet band, which we have plenty. This vet wrap, this blue wrap, will constrict down. It should never touch the horse's skin. And it doesn't. And that's good because I have all this cotton. You don't have to have quite this much pooching out. It can be about this much. But I wanted to just really make a point that you see that. Then I usually wrap my duct tape around like this to make sure it's nice and secure. Good. I'll push it in, and then I'll take one more piece and kind of anchor the back. So I'll bring it right here and kind of pull it forward. This is kind of like an anchoring strap. Sometimes I make it a little longer than that, but that'll work. And just kind of anchor that forward. Good. And that's your soak boot. So depending on what your veterinarian tells you, these can stay on for up to 3 days. If it's not better in 5 to 7 days, your veterinarian needs to come see your horse. Thank you so much for watching.